Hey, Kendra, welcome to the Commercial Finance Experts Academy's Expert Talk. This is about Ask the Expert. And as you know, I've been doing this on YouTube a lot, and I want to share my information to all amongst our mortgage broker. Whenever somebody asks me questions, hey, that's a great question. We should have this on a video so that repurpose it. Meaning, I am certain somebody down the road, not a week, not 2 weeks, maybe a month, maybe a year, going to come back. Hey, what do you think about this, Sue? What can I do? You know what? Maybe if you go back to this video, it will explain everything. Then we can go deeper dive, right?
Yeah, that's so helpful.
And that's why I invited you, Kendra, and thanks for coming on to this show to be able to share your current challenge, and then maybe if I can help you, everybody else can learn it as well. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I appreciate you having me here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
So my name's Kendra, and I'm a mortgage associate with Benchmark Mortgages here in Edmonton, Alberta. And so I am very new to the game. I got licensed last year, and so I've just been—
Well, congratulations!
Thank you. Just been plugging away, trying to, get my name out there. And so the reason why I contacted you today was because I've come across this file, and I just don't know what to do. This commercial file for a church, and they're purchasing an office warehouse building, and just kind of, I don't know what to do.
Well, first of all, I commend you for even accepting help, trying to help these clients. When it comes to commercial financing, now you realize it's so broad. I mean,
it is, yeah.
The office that your business is in is different.
Mm-hmm.
The warehouse that the mechanic is working in is different. The retail salon is different, right? Yeah. It's not like cookie cutter residential sign anymore.
Exactly.
And you per experiences already that the requirement is so broad that nobody has exact answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I guess in your scenario, maybe tell us a little bit about the current challenge that you're facing with what the church is facing right now.
Yes, so they need a property. They recently tried to purchase a church, but they only have 10% down. That minimal. They only have $160,000 to make a purchase.
Yep.
So now they've found another property, which is more in their price range, I would say, but they need to do renovations on it.
Okay.
So the challenge really that I'm facing is that they have such little assets to use to purchase a property that's of significant value.
Yep.
So I've heard of a lot of no's, and that's going to be a tough one. That's what I've heard back from a lot of the lenders, and that's kind of the challenge that I'm facing right now.
Yeah. So I'll help you. I'll help you understand why you get a lot of no's. Is I used to be in the other side, farmer.
Okay.
So when you're working with inside the lender, you are an employee.
Exactly.
So you represent CAVC, BMO, RBC, whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they can't give you an advice like us, like mortgage brokers, or weird stuff, like weird suggestions. They're not allowed to give suggestions. Like it's a liability problem.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if they suggest to the church, if you do this, we can finance it. It puts them in a bad situation if something does not work.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So when I look at these scenarios, I already know what the problem is. Typically, commercial, we know we need 25% down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The challenge is that the banks won't tell you how to get that 25%.
Okay.
Right? So it's up to us to figure out a way to find that money. So the biggest challenge for the church, you already know, everybody already told you, we need more down payment.
Yeah.
Duh. Like give me something else, like a bone to chew on. Right? So I'm helping you with the bone, okay?
Okay.
One thing that we need to do is, look at the financial situation. Is the church growing? And now, there's a terminology that in commercial side, we call it rent rolls.
Okay.
Rent rolls, like how many tenants are inside the place, what is the paying each month in leases and all that, okay?
Yeah.
So, quick dive is that rent rolls for churches are how many attendees are in the church.
Mm-hmm.
They actually do have it. They actually have to keep a financial record of how many donations they get over the year, right? So they have that. So if the numbers are really good, all right, you have to quickly understand what debt servicing is for commercial. We use a different thing we call a debt coverage ratio. It's meant for like multifamily kind of thing, but commercial uses DCR. Okay. Typically speaking, you can work backward really quick to figure out what you need and how much what capacity they have. Okay. DCR for most commercial is 1.25. So meaning if you have $1,000 in mortgage payment, their net income needs to be $1,250. 1.25 times that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And amortization is about, just use 5% for interest rate and a 25-year am, right? That's typical. It's probably lower or higher, depends on which lender we get access money from. But if you use those numbers, conservative enough to get you what you're looking for, right?
Okay.
So for example, if the parish or the church group is bringing in $3,000 net after everything is deducted, they don't have very much, right? Just utilities, whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
So that means based on 3,000, how much can they afford to mortgage, right?
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not just the property itself, because the cash flow is what's going to be necessary for them to get the money, okay? So say we have a surplus. Most churches typically do have a surplus, right? And if they don't, they can always get more, right? You know, okay, we need money, guys. Hands up. Here's
yeah. Send out the bucket again.
the bucket again, yeah. And there's a lot of support. And I've helped a lot of nonprofit, a lot of churches over the years as well.
Okay.
You know, Buddhist temples is a church. Sometimes in a house. That has its own challenges. But this is a church assembly place they found, correct? So
it's the place the property that they found is not known as a church. It's just a warehouse building, but they're going to be renovating it into a church.
Okay. Now the zone, you have to make sure that the city allows it, right? If they permit for assembly, for a meeting and all that. Yeah. Otherwise, the last thing you want to do is, okay, we got good financing, but cities kept knocking, sir, you have to leave.
Exactly, yeah.
It doesn't help, right? So make sure you do some homework for them. Sometimes they're just like, hey, we found a warehouse. No, Mr. Priest, you can't. This area is not for that, right? So make sure that the city's okay with that. Okay. That adds value. That's basically what I'm trying to help. It adds value so that you're more than just, here's the money, bye. All right. The other thing is, now that you know they have excess cash flow, right? So the trouble is finding the down payment.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Then you can target that. Where can we get the down payment from? Right. So as a church group, is there somebody else we can do a second mortgage on, which you can help out?
Oh, okay.
So commercial financing, they don't care where the down payment's coming from. Okay. It can be borrowed funds. It can be from a line of credit, and they do not have the debt service. Oh. Yeah. So if you have a personal line of credit, you pull money out of, or a home equity line of credit on your personal side, and to give to the priest, or if the priest has a house, you can do that, and it's irrelevant. They don't debt service that personal side.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So commercial is totally different animal in itself. Like, yeah. And that's why I say, mortgage brokers, you guys need to understand commercial. It's an extra arrow in your quiver. I mean, you can really need to pull this out when you need it, right? So that's the one thing I've been financing, a lot of residential property with small business money and commercial money. Okay. Yeah. Once you reposition what type of property it is into a holding company and structure it properly, it becomes commercial.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So down the road, when you're ready, when you have the time ready, check out the workshop that I currently hold, and I'm training online as well. Yeah. So go back to the church thing. Now you have the way to get the 25% down. Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's very helpful, because I didn't realize that you can structure it that way.
They don't tell you.
Yeah, they don't.
They told you they may be liable. Yeah. Right. So they've been instructed from top down that don't suggest anything that's going to come back to haunt you or us. Yeah. Right. Thank God there's independent guys. I guess we think outside the box and we go crazy. What if? Yeah. What if one of you guys in the attends a church, puts up part of the house? I can help finance with that on the private side. You know what? They pay back quickly, right? $25,000, $50,000. Like, the bank, not the bank, the church, within 6 months can pretty much pay back that person.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
That's true.
it's not that they don't have capacity. It's just that they need it upfront.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
you are the solution provider. Does that help?
It really does help.
Right.
Yes.
So
It
it's
does.
not,
So,
yeah, I never accept no as an answer. I said, okay, in what way could this deal have been approved? They'll probably tell you 25% down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If that's the only issue, not the zoning, not the church longevity, you know, whatever it is.
Right.
So is this like a small type of church, temple? What exactly is it, Kendra?
Well, it's there's a like large conglomerate, and they're one church, part
Okay.
of that
Okay.
congregation.
Okay. So when you deal with, like when I was dealing with the Christian church, for example, right? Catholic church, even worse.
Oh yeah.
Not the religion worse. I mean, this is the way the
In regards to the financing world.
because the bureaucracy is not the final signature is in England somewhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They have to get somebody high up to sign off on it to get the loan here. It's like,
Okay.
but it's how the hierarchy is structured, right?
Right.
And they operate similar to like a holding company, corporation in a way.
Yeah.
Because that's what a church really is, right?
That's true. Yeah.
It's not the priest. It's an independent, you know, so-and-so a Latter-day Saint, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they have sometimes incorporated. And so find out what is the structure of the organization, who is a signing officer,
Okay.
right? Because at the end of the day this is going to be a long drawn out process. You better make sure that all those people are involved, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Because the structure, I didn't even think about that, because it is that specific denomination, and there's many churches in that. So that's something very important for sure that I didn't even think about.
It's okay. Let's see. Let's see if I have some information here for you. So there is some question you need to ask them, a little bit back information. So you need to find out if they have AGMs and annual reports that they have. Typically, churches have been around a long time. They do have something like this, right? Mm-hmm. So as for the financial statements, some have, you know, year in within last 6 months, get it. Year to date is good. Interim financial is what they call it. Yeah. How long have been there at the last place? Not where they're looking for, right? Of course. Right. When was the church established? Mm-hmm. Right. So it could be like from England, transported here. This is just a section of that, subsection of that, right? Right. So any address of the church has, like a website. Yep. They should have something, right? So it shows legitimacy.
Right. Yeah.
A list of current board of directors and their occupations. Yeah, this is a lot of work for very little. Why mortgage folks don't get into this is one of those things. Like, and you have to ask a little bit biography of like how long have they been serving in this ministry, right? Mm-hmm. Renovations is another thing.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Renovations, what's outlined, what's budget, any contingency, what is supporting the budget? Like, how are they going to raise that? Right? Right. Okay. How long it's going to take for them to pay it back? Mm-hmm. If they don't have the money. We'll get the loan, but how long it's going to take them to pay it back? Right? Right. Typically, I find, and I'll tell you where to go hunting in a minute here, but the legal structure is very important because for mortgageability, they need to know who's going to be able to sign this. Yeah. I got an example here. When in the United Church, itself, neither the church or the congregation actually owns the building. Oh, okay. It's weird, yeah. It is owned by trustees on behalf of the congregation. But the trustees are under a trust agreement with the United Church of Canada and needs a church authority on any mortgages. Okay. Interesting. Right. So they have some bylaws, like they have their own bylaws in the constitution of the documents of the church, mm-hmm. Right? Who needs to sign the mortgage? provides a special resolution for borrowing. The specific document is called a borrower's resolution for the corporation.
Yep.
The church has it.
Okay.
Right. So then you know for sure, okay, the parishioners, one of the members of the parishioners has a sign authority. Cool. So it's not going to go to England for 2-3 months.
Right. Yeah. Let's hope that is not the case.
Yeah, yeah. So where do you go to find the church financing? You've seen it on other mortgage brokering, as well as somebody mentioned before, Stewards of Canada is one of them.
Stewards of Canada?
Stewards, yeah.
Okay.
Stewardscanada.org. STEWARD. Scanada.org. You can Google it, you find it.
Yeah.
Secondly, you can go to local credit unions.
Mm-hmm.
I find that local credit unions have a specific nonprofit person, advisor, or manager to specialize in that area.
Okay.
They are the one that actually does specifically for nonprofit. They understand it better.
I see. Okay.
The other guys can't wrap their head around it. They're going to just waste everybody's time. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Ask for specifics and you get the right person.
Yeah.
You say, I just need a warehouse financing. They're going to send you the wrong guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And
nonprofit church.
2-3 weeks later, Kendra finds out, oh, you have never dealt with a church before.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, not fun. Especially you see how much work you have to do already. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
So if you don't understand this, commercial sites don't pay you. Right? I typically charge between 200 to 300 basis points on mortgages below 3 million.
Yep.
So on a 2.5 million, I get minimum $50,000 to whatever, like 75, but 65, sorry. Good math, eh? But on nonprofits, I actually lower my fees down to just a straight 100 basis point.
Yeah.
But it's still up to you. Upfront expectation is the big thing to me. When you're dealing with a church, you know, I'm sure you're a good-hearted person. That's why you're working with a church. Otherwise, somebody's, oh, church, okay, no. Right? Because they really don't have a lot of money to spare.
Exactly.
Most stuff they reinvest into community and help the people out. So I'm a big fan of giving back because Christian church sponsored my family to Canada from a refugee camp in Thailand. Okay, so that's why I'm very, very heart-centered when I do business. Right? Yeah. And that's why with these videos, you see?
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. So hopefully that helps, Kendra.
It really does. I really appreciate you
You're welcome.
walking me through this. And this is
whenever you're ready, check out the commercialfinancingmastery.com website.
Yes.
All right.
That's in the plan.
Have a good day, and touch base with me how it went, and see what the end result's going to be, so that in the future, you know, I can maybe bring you out as one of the speakers on one of my trainings.
You never know. Could happen.
Take care. Good luck.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.